Movo has gone ahead and done it again. Recently, I did review a different kind of microphone that is actually more so on the professional side, which was their VSM7 model professional XLR microphone, and it was a condenser microphone that performed incredibly well. I absolutely loved it, and I definitely recommended it for just $100. And this time, they're claiming that this microphone, their new one, their VXR10 Pro, a shotgun microphone, 4 cameras, and for only $40 can dethrone the Rode VideoMic in a variety of different ways for $20 less than the VideoMicro. Vloggers for only $40, which is around $20 cheaper than what Rode is offering on their end. Today, I'm going to be testing it out and comparing it, and then letting you guys know if it does actually hold up. So with that said, I'm excited to try it out, and let's go ahead and dive right in. For more great content just like this, and just make sure to subscribe and then turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any uploads. Also, leave a like and a comment down below with all of your thoughts on this video. And while you're at it, I always leave affiliate links down below in the description as well. But make sure that you check out Luster so you can find the best deals on all of that tech that you're shopping for. It's a simple browser extension that helps you make the best purchasing decision. And lastly, don't forget to check out my merch store if you're into some monochrome clothing like everything I'm wearing right here. So with that said, links to everything down below. And now here's a quick disclaimer. Movo did send this over to me in order to review it. However, I will be still sharing my honest thoughts on this product with you so you can make an informed decision on which one you should go ahead and purchase. So let us go ahead and dive right in. And as always, we're going to begin with the unboxing. Inside of this box, you're going to find a carrying case, and inside you are going to find a shock mount for the microphone itself with the windscreen attached, some audio cables for use with a camera and a smartphone depending on which one you want to use it with, and a wind muff if you're filming outdoors. And this already looks like a pretty great package in my opinion. And the exterior design is going to consist of this metal shell for this microphone, and it is going to be hefty for its size, but it doesn't feel all that heavy by any means, obviously, just considering how small it is, and it does have a very premium feel to it. It does honestly feel better than the VideoMicro, even by just a little bit, because it does feel just a little bit heavier than the VideoMicro in that sense. And in comparison to the VideoMicro, it is going to be slightly larger for sure, and it actually has an extra port that the VideoMicro doesn't have, and this is going to be a headphone jack. This is going to be for monitoring the audio in real time as you're filming with it if you want to, which I think is honestly pretty awesome. Overall, this package is looking pretty great so far. Now let's move on to the setup process. And to set this up, just go ahead and squeeze the microphone onto the shock mount and then hook it up onto the hot shoe mount on your camera. And just make sure that you plug in the cable that says camera on it so that you get the best results possible. And you're pretty much good to go from there. I will be testing this with my GorillaPod 3K Pro, and then my vlogging setup is essentially complete. So now we're going to get into the actual audio test right now. I'm going to do a comparison between the two microphones here, and we're going to do a test indoors and another one outdoors with the wind muff attached for that test. So with that said, let's go ahead and begin. And now this is going to be an indoors microphone test involving the Movo microphone, and I actually have it attached to my Sony a6400 right here. And this is going to be a fairly simple test, just so that you guys can hear what it would sound like in an indoors environment. I'm using a GorillaPod to hold up my camera right now, so this is kind of what it would be like if you wanted to use it for any kind of vlogging scenario, which is exactly what this is intended for. Now we're going to do an outdoors test, but I also want to see what it sounds like with the Rode VideoMic as well, just for the sake of comparing the two. And now this is going to be an indoors audio test with the Rode VideoMicro, which is also going to be attached to my Sony a6400, and this is what it's going to sound like with the wind muff on, since it doesn't actually come with an actual windscreen like the Movo one does. So this is the kind of sound quality that you should be expecting out of it for any kind of vlogging scenarios. I'm using the exact same GorillaPod with it. And again, this is the kind of indoors result that you should be getting if you're going to be shooting in a place where there just isn't going to be any kind of wind obstructing the sound or anything like that. Now we're going to be taking both microphones outside just to see what they sound like when there is actually a lot of wind noise around. So let's go ahead and see what that sounds like. And now this is what the Rode VideoMicro is going to sound like in an outdoor scenario. if there is a lot of wind outside, even though today it's not really that windy, this is kind of what it should sound like with the wind muff on. And these are the results that you should be expecting. Again, I'm using the exact same Gorilla Pod as earlier, so again, this is just going to be the exact same setup that I had earlier, except that I'm outdoors here, which is where most people tend to do all their vlogging. So this is kind of what it would sound like if you were to use a Rode VideoMicro. Now let's go ahead and move on to the Movo to see what that would sound like, and I will be including its included wind muff on here as well to make the comparison as fair as possible. And now this is going to be an outdoor sound test with the Movo shotgun microphone, and in this case I am going to have the wind muff attached to it, so these are the results that you should be hearing. And again, it's not necessarily all that windy today, but you are still going to hear a lot of outside noise. For example, there's some work going on that side and things of the like. Some music might be blasting every now and then, some very loud motorcycles and that kind of thing. But this is the kind of sound quality that you should be expecting if you have the wind muff attached, and if you're going to be vlogging outdoors. Now again, it's not super windy, so I guess that you won't necessarily be able to see how it fares when it comes to a very windy day, but with a regular day when the wind is just fine, this is what it's going to sound like with the Movo shotgun microphone. From what I heard back, they do sound very similar in terms of sound quality of my voice. Like, it sounds almost identical on both ends. However, there's going to be another point where there is going to be a lot more of a difference, and that is just going to be in the case of background noise and how each respective microphone is going to handle it, regardless of which scenario you're actually in. The Rode VideoMicro handles this part worse, as it does introduce more noise, or it just lets more background noise in than the Movo one does, as a Movo one seems to dampen that a lot more, but it obviously doesn't get rid of it entirely either. However, when it comes to the sound, they both sound almost identical in my opinion. Movo just happens to handle the background noise, in my opinion, a lot better than the Rode VideoMicro does, and I think that will go a long way, especially if you're going to be vlogging outdoors for the most part. And that's that. I don't have any real complaints about this product, to be honest, which is a rarity because I tend to have at least some small gripes with almost anything. But I do think that this is a better choice over the VideoMicro due to its almost identical sound quality, with my voice at least, and better background rejection, and it even has a headphone jack for monitoring your audio if your camera doesn't already have one, which none of mine do, and it's even 20 bucks cheaper while including even more accessories to use with your phone and to carry it around and stuff like that. Like, it's just a really good value. It's difficult to argue that this is a fantastic value, and I definitely am going to recommend it over the Rode VideoMicro. To me, at this point, it doesn't make sense to go with that microphone when this one is so much better. Or at the very least, just as good, but for a lot less. And if you're interested in purchasing this microphone, then I'll be making sure to leave affiliate links down to Amazon in the description. And if you end up using Luster, it can actually help you find some sales all across the web, whether it's on other websites or on Amazon or anything like that. So I strongly recommend that you download it, especially if you're looking for any kind of alternatives. I think that it's going to help you a lot when it comes to that purchasing journey. So do make sure to give that a try too. And again, don't forget that I always stream on Twitch every Friday and Saturday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. My schedule did change recently to accommodate for those of you who cannot show up a little bit later. So like if you see anywhere that it says 10 p.m. to 12 a.m., then please ignore that time slot because that's just not the case anymore. So with that said, links to my Twitch are going to be in the description. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you're interested in keeping up with the Tech Summit endeavors. But with that said, this has been Francisco from Tech Summit. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be seeing you all later. Enjoy.